Hi guys, so welcome to another lecture in the series of lectures on Namesake. We're going to continue reading ahead today. Um, Ashok can still remember their shouts, asking if anyone was alive. He remembers trying to shout back, unsuccessfully, his mouth emitting nothing but the faintest rasp. He remembers the sound of people half dead around him, moaning and tapping on the walls of the train, whispering hoarsely for help. Words that only those who were also trapped and injured could possibly hear. Blood drenched his chest and the right arm of his shirt. He had been thrust part way out the window. He remembers being unable to see anything at all. For the first hours, he thought that perhaps, like his grandfather, whom he was on his way to visit, he'd gone blind. He remembers the acrid odor of flames, the buzzing of flies, children crying, the taste of dust and blood on his tongue. They were nowhere, somewhere in a field. Miling about them were villagers, police inspectors, a few doctors. He remembers believing that he was dying, that perhaps he was already dead. He could not feel the lower half of his body, and so was unaware that the mangled limbs of Ghosh were draped over his legs. Eventually, he saw the cold, unfriendly blue of the earliest morning, the moon and a few stars still lingering in the sky. The pages of his book, which had been tossed from his hand, fluttered in two sections a few feet away from the train. The glare from a search lantern briefly caught the pages, momentarily distracting one of the rescuers. Nothing here, Ashok heard someone say. Let's keep moving. But the lantern's light lingered just long enough for Ashok to raise his hand, a gesture that he believed would consume the small fragment of life left in him. He was still clutching a single page of the overcoat, crumpled tightly in his fist, and when he raised his hand, the wad of paper dropped from his fingers. Wait, he heard a voice cry out. The fellow by that book, I saw him move. Now, in the last lecture, when I said that Lahiri has a way to play with visual pace, even uh, in the way that she writes, this is what I meant. You see, firstly, how careful she is with punctuation. He remembers believing that he was dying, comma, that perhaps he was already dead, full stop. He could not feel the lower half of his body, comma, and he was so unaware, unaware that the mangled limbs of Ghosh were draped over his legs, full stop. Uh, so, of course, there's a lot of action that has taken place in this scene, particularly. Uh, Not action, but perhaps, no, not action, but there's a lot of aftermath of the action that took place in the scene before this, where the train has crashed. This is a significant scene for the story, obviously, because the scene changes everything. The scene before this also kind of changed everything that follows in Ashok's life, and then this scene obviously is very important to that scene because his what can I say? His train crashed. There's an aftermath of that scene. He was almost about to not be found, not be rescued, anything like that, but have died, despite the fact that he had at least enough energy or life left in him to be able to raise his hand. Uh, but he may still have been left stranded uh, if he didn't have overcoat in his hand, um, the pages of which fell as soon as he raised his hand, and so it got the rescuer's attention, and not just the rescuer's attention, but it kind of forced them to look back at him, or check that okay, fine, somebody's alive back there, and so he gets saved, as we'll read ahead. Uh, I just want you guys to like focus on the way Lahiri plays with visual pacing. when it comes to, because whenever you're writing something, you're obviously creating visuals by writing something, but being able to pace those visuals right uh, is an art, and Lyrie is really a master of that art. Um, other than that, I think that's about it for this lecture. We'll continue reading ahead. Uh, Obviously, again, just keep in mind the scene is also pivotal for the story, because when we say that the overcoat by Nikolai Gogol drives the story ahead in a lot of ways, we'll read, how a lot of things, including the name Ashok gives to his son, is connected to the story that he believes saved his life. Um, that's about it. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up as well as subscribe to the channel. Refer to the link in description for notes, the relevant task, and yeah, guys, I just hope that I'm doing these lectures right, because with these lectures, every time I'm trying to do them, even when I was starting the course, because I think this was the first course that started on this channel, the thing was that I really wanted to make sure that I'm also able to transfer the love for the story, right, because there is already a movie on the book. Anybody can just go up there and watch the movie. The book's available for anybody to read, but when you're doing a course on a book, it's like, I hope people are able to understand it beyond the lines. I hope people are able to fall in love with it. Um, and that's about it, I guess. See you guys in another lecture.